You don't notice it at first. You're just walking, same speed, same sidewalk, same routine. But then it hits you on the tighter waistband, the stubborn belly fat that refuses to move, the feeling that no matter how much you walk, nothing is changing. You burn calories, sure, but your midsection still sits there like it owns the place. And the truth is brutal. It does. Belly fat doesn't respond to ordinary walking, it responds to how you walk. That's where everything shifts. Because right now, without you realizing it, you might be doing the single biggest thing that prevents belly fat from shrinking. And worse, you probably think you're doing everything right. You're not alone. I used to walk the same way, slow, distracted, half asleep, shoulders rounded, mind drifting, breathing shallow. And I wondered why nothing changed. Why my belly stayed the same even though my legs were moving. It felt ridiculous, like I was stuck in some metabolic quicksand. But then I learned something that flipped the entire process upside down. Your body only burns belly fat when your walk becomes an active fat burn command, not just motion. And this command comes from one thing, a specific 3-step technique almost nobody does. The moment I started using it, the stubborn fat around my waist began to melt off. Not overnight magic, not miracle nonsense, just biology. And walking suddenly became the most powerful fat burn tool I had, but only because I finally knew how to switch it on. That switch is what we're breaking open today, because your belly fat shrinks when you do this while walking, and most people never do it. The first time I tried it, I remember the exact moment something changed. I was halfway through my usual route, mind wandering, belly bouncing slightly with each step, and I caught myself. My posture was collapsing, my core was off, my breathing was lazy. I looked like I was strolling through a mall, not trying to burn fat. No wonder nothing was happening. So I reset everything, my posture, my breathing, my arm swing, and suddenly my entire walk transformed. My core lit up, my belly tightened, my body switched from sugar burn to fat burn mode within minutes. This technique works because it forces your body into a different metabolic state, one where belly fat becomes fuel instead of baggage. But before I tell you exactly how to activate it, you need to understand the threat you're up against when you walk the wrong way. Imagine your body as an emergency survival system. It cares about survival, not aesthetics. When you walk with poor form or low intensity, your body thinks everything is fine. Burn the easy stuff, store the hard stuff. The easy stuff is sugar. The hard stuff is fat, like especially belly fat. But when you walk with the correct activation technique, your body gets a completely different message. We're under pressure, we need fuel. Use the belly fat. The difference between those two signals is the difference between a belly that shrinks and a belly that stays put. And the threat isn't just cosmetic, belly fat is metabolically active. It releases inflammatory chemicals that push your body toward disease. And walking without activating your core only makes the problem worse. Your belly jiggles, your spine collapses, your lungs compress, oxygen flow drops, and your fat burn switch stays off. Meanwhile, you think you're doing something good for yourself. It's like trying to put out a fire by throwing wet paper towels at it. This brings us to the moment everything changes. The exact technique that turns a normal walk into a belly fat burning session. When you walk, tighten your lower belly just enough as if bracing for a cough. Not a full crunch. Not sucking in. Just a light tension like you're protecting yourself from someone poking you in the gut. This simple action does 3 things immediately. First, it activates your deep core muscles, especially the transverse abdominis. That muscle acts like a natural corset. When it wakes up, your belly doesn't just shrink visually, and it starts burning more calories to stay engaged. Second, it straightens your posture, lifting your rib cage so you breathe deeper, pulling in more oxygen. Oxygen equals fat burning. And third, it sends your body a stress signal, a productive stress signal, the kind that flips your metabolism from store fat to burn fat. But here's the twist. This tension has to happen while you're moving. Otherwise, your body doesn't get the message. The belly brace plus walking rhythm tells your metabolism, use that stubborn fat as fuel. And the longer you hold that gentle tension, the more your stomach area warms up. That warmth is blood flow. One of the key signs your body is switching into fat burn mode. But the belly brace alone isn't enough. The next part of the technique is the one that accelerates the fat burn dramatically. Once the brace is activated, you add power arms. Not flailing, not exaggerated, just controlled, strong swings from shoulder to hip. When your arms move like that, your torso rotates. And with that rotation, your core works harder automatically. This is the secret few people know. Belly fat burns most efficiently when your body creates a twist and brace pattern while moving. It mimics the rotational mechanics of sprinting, but at a walking speed. And sprinting is one of the most powerful fat burners on earth. The moment those arms start driving, your pace automatically increases. Your breathing deepens. Your shoulders pull back. Your core tightens even further. And suddenly, your entire walk becomes a coordinated fat burning engine. But the real moment of danger comes when you forget, because once that activation drops, your body instantly reverts to burning sugar again. And sugar burn is a metabolic dead end for fat loss. That's why this technique requires your attention, your presence, your focus. If you drift, you lose it, and your belly knows it. This is where the next threat appears, and the internal one nobody talks about. When this walking technique activates, your body releases adrenaline, a controlled amount, just enough to unlock stored fat and put it into your bloodstream. But adrenaline is a double-edged sword. If your posture collapses or your breathing becomes shallow, your body can mistake this for stress, releasing cortisol instead. And cortisol loves storing belly fat. So the stakes rise. You must keep breathing deep and steady, in through the nose, out through the mouth, not fast, not forced, just controlled, rhythmic, intentional. This oxygen keeps cortisol down and fat burning up. Think of it like walking through a dark forest where your only safety is the rhythm of your breath. Lose it and you're exposed. Keep it and you stay in control. But to push this even further, to make your belly shrink quicker, like there's one more thing you add. A shift in pace, not a jog, not a sprint, just 60 seconds of slightly faster walking every 3 to 5 minutes, enough to shock your metabolism without exhausting you. This sudden pace change works like a flare in the night. It wakes your body up. It says, we need energy now. And your belly fat answers. If you combine the bracing, the power arms, and the pace waves, you create the perfect storm: deep core activation, momentum, oxygen flow, and metabolic pressure. And this pressure forces belly fat to burn. But here's the real consequence if you don't do this. If you keep walking the old way, if you stay passive, your belly fat gains ground, your metabolism slows, and your midsection becomes more insulin resistant. Your body starts storing fat even from healthy foods. And suddenly your daily walk becomes a false reassurance, a comforting illusion that you're doing something good while quietly drifting deeper into metabolic danger. That's why this technique matters. It's not about looking better. It's about surviving the slow creep of internal collapse, the hormonal imbalance, the inflammation, the circulation problems that belly fat creates. When you walk the right way, you fight back. When you don't, you surrender. And you don't strike me as someone who surrenders. So the next time you step outside, treat your walk like a mission. Tighten that lower belly. Swing those arms with purpose. Keep your breathing controlled. Shift your pace like you're signaling your metabolism that something important is happening. Because it is. This walk isn't casual anymore. It's targeted, it's aggressive, it's metabolic warfare. Your belly fat is not invincible. It's fuel waiting to be used. But only when you give your body the right command, and the command is simple. Activate while you walk. Your body will listen. Your metabolism will follow, and your belly will shrink. Not someday, not eventually, but starting the moment you decide to walk with intention instead of habit. You've been walking your whole life. Today, you walk differently. Today, your walk becomes the moment everything changes.